All right. What is going on, Market Alchemist? Good to see everybody. I am traveling, so I'm hopefully everyone else can hear me okay and see everything okay. I'm on my travel setup. Got myself a little microphone action so that when I travel, y'all can hear me really nice. Got my travel setup going so I can still stream and do everything the way. If you check my social media at Thor Young, I actually posted a picture of my travel setup for everyone. So it's at Thor Young. I also posted it on my Instagram at Thor Young MA, so you can kind of see it right there, like what my travel setup looks like, just in case you're interested. So we had kind of an interesting morning today. So let me kind of run you through what we did in MAs today. So I had a couple of trades. The first one I took, which I'm a little annoyed with, but we'll take. But I'm not annoyed with the second. So the first one was this lovely call on NQ. It went up into NQ. It called. It sold really, really fast. When it pulled back, I tried to get in. I took a stop and then I tried again. Really nice move, but as it came back up, kind of a little bit too big of a retracement for me. And with us already being under L6, it just seemed like there wasn't enough downside. And then I ended up going out of this one, and I made enough profit on that one to offset my stop and to get me back in and working. And then I decided I wanted to get in on something. So I went into RTY here. And this is the one I'm in right now. So I'm in a trade short on RTY. RTY started off by selling. Everything else had the L4 call, but RTY didn't because it's in a wide range and it opened too high. But since the rest of the market really looked like it wanted to sell, and RTY had the best buying and selling detector out of all of them. RTY looked beautifully weak here as far as the selling goes. So I waited and I marked this low because we had found an order there, tested it, and then sold through it, offered it, and then broke away. So I marked that low. As we pulled back into the 50 SMA at that low, there was no volume response, perfect little offer. So I went ahead and got short. So you can see I'm short now. I'm still holding, and we're below ATR low right now. So I basically got all the move in this one I really want, but I think we can deviate today. I think today could be a bigger sell. So I'm just trailing the 50 right now, having made good money already. And if this comes up, buys ATR low, L6, and goes to the 50, I'll get out. But that's all I'm doing now is basically just trailing the 50. And if we ever start buying again, I'm going to get out of this thing and take the money. But I'm going to give this the opportunity. One of the things you see on this channel that you're not going to see in a lot of other channels is that I don't partial, but I also will allow positions to breathe for a while and see if I can get more money out of them rather than just like strictly saying like for instance, if I'd have made it to L6, that normally would have just been my target. So if it comes back up here and stops out, I'll get out of it and I'll be perfectly happy, right? Good morning, Comey. Good to see you. Dalton, good to see you. Let's talk about some other tickers. I'll put this over here and keep an eye on it. The NQ move was beautiful. All right, so we're getting asked to look at RGTI, so I will take a look at that. So RGTI is calling a long call right now, and I would not recommend taking it. The market itself is entirely too weak right now, but more importantly, the buying and selling detector. If you join the access indicators, if there is only one indicator that you use out of all of them, I don't care what your trading style is, the buying and selling detector is worth the money. We're actually going to release an update soon that has a new quant model to it for the calculation that I think is going to make the dial work a little bit better. Bruz came up with it actually. So I think that's really going to help out quite a bit. So, but you can see here right now on RGTI, we are still selling, right? And we have been selling for the most part. The only time we buy, whenever we buy, we immediately exhaust our buyers. So anytime we buy, we're not really getting good ground here. Anytime we sell and sustain the selling for long periods of time. And we are still selling right now. So for me, for RGTI, if you are short, I would stay short. If you're thinking about a long, I would not. Cool? Oh, it's so helpful. Thanks. Yeah, 1960. I'm glad you like it, man. It's awesome. Thank you. So what else? Did y'all get any other trades? Did you see the NVIDIA call we had today? Look at this NVIDIA call we had. Oh my God. Any of you get the NVIDIA call? We had this beautiful long on NVIDIA, went all the way up to all-time high, right to the ATR. I mean, this was our targeted distance right there. Perfect call to perfect call. I mean, don't know what else I can give you. Oh, I'm so glad you got it. So we have a little bit of a slower Tuesday. This is what happens when I take a Monday off. Everyone forgets about me. But if you can, just make sure you throw the likes for me, thumbs up. Also entertaining some ideas of some alternative time slots and stuff. So we'll look at that and talk about that more over the next next week. Bass, it was a little too aggressive for you. I hear you. I hear you there. It had a hard sell. It did a little indecision, and then it made a new high right there. That was probably the best spot. Would have been to be long right there with your stop above the low, below the low. It would have been a nice 4-1. It's doable, but it would have been an aggressive move for sure. So we came down here, and now we're offering it again, but I don't like it now. We're selling too much. And we should not have broken out and then needed to come all the way back to the low. This is actually fairly bearish the way this looks. And then again, the market itself is pretty weak. So we had we've been into a sell here on the market. We didn't call on QQQ, but we called on the futures. But right now, I think we're selling off. I would not bounce today at all. So statistically, we are outside on a narrow day, and there's not enough time in the day left or enough news to drive this market all the way up above L4. So for me, we're going to close low today. So, which is, I think is pretty on cue with what, for those of you who are following the market Thorcast, right? I said, so far today indexes I would like to see at L4. Any buys would be at L6, but caution there, as today should close outside the range. All right, called it. And we got our full move. We got all the way to ATR low. So that would have been the full target on the NQ trade. Perfect L4 to L6 trade today. So NVIDIA long at S3, the only sign that the move is the rejection of the 1 minute candle. I don't know what you mean by rejection of the 1 minute candle. So this was a hard sell that absorbed. We then had indecision, and when we broke that high. So that's an isolated pivot right off the level. So this was a long because we could not close below the level, and then we offered and broke new highs. So that would be the signal if you were going to play it. I would not necessarily have taken this because I don't like that we were selling too much when it went into it. For me, I looked at so I would have had a lot of trouble with NVIDIA, especially since I was thinking NQ was going to be a short today. NQ, we started off with a hard sell. And then as we pulled back up to the level, look, we just offered into light buying. and then started selling, and we've been selling ever since. So NQ's been pretty easy to read. I ended up going into RTY because I tried NQ, and then that pullback was so aggressive. I just wanted something that was trading better, right? So that's why I'm in RTY now. So you can see here, when we pulled back, we held the 50, held this level I had marked, and then I played short on RTY. And now I actually don't even know where I'm going for profit target wise. So what I've been doing is I've been going out to the chart right now, and I'm looking for significant levels. Like we seem to have one right here that we're already through. So maybe we go to this shoulder right here now, right there. So we'll see. Right now we've got lots of downside. So I'm just giving this thing an opportunity to roll. And thank you very much for all of those of you who do like. I know it's annoying that I have to ask you all the time, but it's my job. So I'm doing it. With V-shaped reversals, how do you time your entries to conform to the entry chart? For instance, NQ did not give a good confirmation before the move. What do you mean? On this short up here? This one? So this isn't really like a reversal, actually. This is a continuation. So you can see here, we've been selling all through the early session, right? So we squeezed up, and basically what we did is we squeezed back up into a good spot to sell, and then we sold. But this is exactly where we should have sold from, L4. It's perfect. The cams have been on fire lately with the futures. They've been full back on. Like we went maybe like 2 or 3 weeks in a month of the last month where they weren't going great. And then out of nowhere, they've just really like kicked into gear. So again, so you can see we actually did this L6 buy wasn't great. Which both plays, the L6 long is a target to L4. So it's just too tight. So but the L4 breakout completely working. This is higher narrow range. This is a perfect play. So I let it pull back. Once it comes back and offers at the level, it makes a new low. And when it closes below the 9, that's what I like to. And I put my stop right above the high. Or run it above the box. Give yourself some space. There's an order sitting at 2,800. Okay, let's hope. Because that's basically where I'm going. All right, so we're still selling, and we're still in. So now I'm very happy because my normal target would have been ATR low. So how fun is it now that my trail is where ATR low is? You shorted in Q and it failed to hold. Nice, good job, Jen. So I really hope y'all will come back and keep hanging with me at Market Alchemists. I'm constantly thinking about like what I can do to really bring you all like the highest quality content. But I'm just gonna show you good trading, and hopefully that does the trick, right? Wow. That's Wayne. Are you serious? Thor just wanted to say thank you again. Reading your book, learned how to identify pivots. Your buying and selling detector confirmed it and gave me the confidence to hold Tesla long for a 23-hour trade. Holy crap. That's one hell of a trade there, buddy. You know, what's fun about this trade too is I only risked about, I'm about 10R right now. I only risked about $600 or $700 on this entry. So it really works. You know what I mean? You can make good money in the market without risking a fortune or taking all kinds of crazy trades, right? Wow, best trade of your year, man. I'm so excited for that. Thank you for sharing. So I was thinking about it would be fun at some point in time. I may have some like talk with trader kind of segments, like maybe have some of y'all come on to the channel. Like I'll send you a link and you can come on and hang out with me and talk about like your journey and like what you've learned, maybe with Dr. Vee sometime. I think it'd be really cool. Thor, sometimes the price action is too early for the confirmation to enter a trade like in Q today, but the cam says short early. I mean, I guess you like for me, I don't know. Like I feel like this trade is happening. This short on NQ is happening 15 minutes into the day. You know what I mean? I just don't know. Like I that's a lot of time. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I would say like the vast majority of your trades will probably set up within the first hour of the day. So you probably, you need to be prepared to act on them pretty quickly. But I mean, this is 15 minutes. This is quite a windup. Francis, without looking, I'm going to say no. But let's take a look at it. Still no. Ah. So the reason why I say no, which it actually could end up being, but it's not right now. So some reasons why. One, higher narrow range. So if you are going to play long, only L4. We've broken our IB low after 1030. So there's very little chance that we will actually break our high of day today. So whatever play you, and because we're in a narrow range, we are more likely to stay outside, right? So because we're more likely to stay outside and it's a narrow range and we're selling right now, I would say no. It's just not worth it. This is still a continuation to the downside, unfortunately, or fortunately, because I'm short right now. Not ES, but RTY. We're just beautifully expanding right now. So I'll put my trade back up for a minute. I went ahead and moved my trail down. So I'm just trailing the 50 now. At any point in time, if we buy back through the 50, I'll be out because I'm already over my profit goal. My profit target was ATR low. And I'm just making extra money right now for no reason. And I like that there was a big order at 2,800, someone was saying. So I'm kind of holding to see. But if I ever see like a big buy start and we break the 50, I'll get out. But right now, this thing's just trending so beautiful. I mean, look at this. Look at how beautiful. Pull back into the 21, pull back to the 50, pull back to the 21, 21, 21, 21. I mean, this thing is showing no signs right now of turning around. Yeah, let's look at AMD. Yeah, it's always fun to make a little extra money for no reason, right? AMD has some potential. It's been selling too much, and it is still selling, but I like that this sell here was almost exhaustive. Like, it was a lot of volume, but it's still selling. But that was quite a bit of volume here. But I would want to see it change its posture. Right now, see how all the big candles are all red? I would want to see that switch and see some really big dark green candles in here. before I get long. Right now, this is still reading as a short to me, VPA wise. Reasonable target for NQ today. It already did it, actually. I think that happened already. I think the reasonable target for NQ has been met. I think now we're going after unreasonable targets. So I think at this point you start looking for unreasonable things. You know what I mean? Because at this point we're deviating. We're outside of ATR. There's no reason to think we're going to just get sucked back inside of this. So if anything on NQ, what I would look for, see how ATR high is here? If ATR high becomes high of day, that should be it, right? If ATR high meets high of day, then there is no more downside, right? Like really at all. So right now, I would say we can keep going down until ATR high becomes high of day, which is still another 100 points. Yeah, I went out of NQ when it pulled back here because we were well beyond L6 already. So I didn't have the kind of conviction. That's why I ended up getting into RTY. And Sophie, that's a really solid question. So for me, on the wide range with RTY, the thing for me is look where the ATRs were. The ATRs were outside of the sixes. So for me, that makes it a very narrow, wide range. It's wide because it expanded yesterday, but it's overall, it's not so wide, right? Because our ATRs are actually outside the sixth level. So there was some downside here. I wouldn't long anything right now. I'm sorry. Like, I know we're going to want to play longs right now, but unless I see something really wild, it's very unlikely I'm going to advise you to long anything. Today's a sell day. Like, we're selling. Like, INTC is a solid sell right now. Look, buying and selling detector be your best friend, right? You'll ever have in your life, the buying and selling detector. Right. So right now we're selling. We've been selling. Look at the volume. There's never been any buying on INTC all day. Today is a sell day. We're expanding to the downside. Right. So look, we're way outside of our ATR low. So this is a deviation. So I would not expect a mean reversion on a day like this. I would expect us to find an order and chop it, close. Tomorrow we'll have a wide range. Then we'll offer the mids. Yeah, NQ can just keep dropping. Like, there's nothing to get in the way of this. Like, look at what's happening right now. We're below this order, right? So our next order was here that we really worked. There's no reason we can't go back to there today. Never underestimate. This is why I'm a bear. Look at the waterfall. God, I love it when it does this. The thing that you have to work on as a day trader, which is the most important skill, and it's really one that's undervalued and is really not talked very much, is the ability to hold once you're winning. What happens a lot with us is that when we hit the winning trade and the bloodbath begins, or you get into the rally and it starts to squeeze like crazy, you take 1R or 2R and you say, hey, I'm happy. Like, I'm not saying you need to get all the move, but you should try. Get as much of the move as you possibly can. Get out for a reason, right? Like, for right now, my reason to get out is if it crosses the 50. Right? But until then, let's just give this thing a chance to make as much money as it possibly can. But it blows my mind. We're going to have, we got to, spread this channel and get it out there, man. We get, 100 people watching. I'm making 10 grand right now, risking $600, and no one's entertained. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a wider, and that's okay though, Oz. So in the beginning, you're new, right? And you're just learning the system, so you need to stay true to the rules, right? So shorting in Q though would have no reason to not be in that one, right? Like NQ is a perfect call with a perfect L4 short on a narrow range that was higher, that we opened and followed all the rules, even a cam call, right? I mean, I post some stuff, but I have to get, Shiki, I have to get like a person. I really need like a social media person whose entire job is to figure out how to get the YouTube going, how to get all of the stuff really working, because it can't be my job. I can't be a full-time trader who runs a community and teaches people all day and then also is in charge of like running and driving a YouTube. It's a lot of work. I mean, take it. I mean, I'm right now even on this channel. I'm streaming it. I've got a software running that I'm actually running all of this through, and doing all these cool little like little banner deals like these things where I say, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I can put my little like and subscribe up. Are you not entertained? Exactly. Let's just get everything we can out of this thing. What do you say? Still beautifully trending down. Let's do this. You're in Tesla? Wow. See, I mean, on Tesla, though, look at the selling on Tesla. Like, look, it started selling right there. The buying and selling detector will set you free. If I swear, if there's anything you use this thing. Look, you can see at the end, at the open, we started lightly buying, and then right there, boom, went to selling. Right? As soon as, and then here's the weak offer. We pull back, we get right near the midline. You want to short somewhere when you're in this light volume area. So you'd short the pullback right there. Pow, if you miss the entry, short the pullback, and then just selling all day, nonstop selling. Dial is negative, just cooking. Oh, definitely think the SPY can keep going. I think today's a deviation day. I'm actually pulling my target more on RTY. I don't even know where I'm pulling it to. I'm just giving it as much as I can at this point. No, we can definitely deviate today. So, I mean, we're trending beautifully. There's no major volume signals saying that we're going to turn around. We did exhaust a little bit right there, but we handled it very well with a quick offer and then back to it. Selling is great. I mean, it's a narrow range. I mean, it's a wide range on SPY, which is interesting, but it's a narrow range on everything else. So you're in a put? Get some, Batswain. Good job. Y'all just remember me when you get rich and famous, making all this money. Just remember to tell everybody where you learned it, or at least who helped you. So let's go back to RTY here. So RTY right now, I'm thinking that order right there likely is something of significance. So off of that wick there. So that seems to have been a general area of congestion. So I think that's interesting. If we go through that order, then we can go lower. So we would be looking at even maybe as low as maybe here, where we tested before. So let's go ahead and mark that, like maybe right in here, something like that. We'll get a big pullback here at some point. Oh, thanks, Batswain. I think, I'm out at any moment, and I'm super paper handed now, right? I'm just trailing the 50. At any point in this time, if this thing gets some big volume and comes up, I'm going to get out of it. But look, I'm just making money now, right? Like I know it feels weird to risk giving money back, but remember, I was going to make $5,000. I'm going to make that no matter what. That maybe this turns into 10. Maybe this turns into 15. I don't know. We never know what this does. We could just sell off all day long. Peter Tuckman at the end of the day. It's the ceiling, it's the floor, it's a bird, it's a plane. Oh no, it's just Peter Tuckman. The market has sold off 1,000 points today. Like, you never know what day that's going to be. Every day could be that day, right? That's the hard part of being a stock trader or a futures trader, is performing the almost psychopathic, relentless behavior. You know what I mean? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting the same result. And even when it doesn't work, being willing to just keep doing it over, knowing that it does work. And knowing that when it does work, you will make a lot of money, because that's where the vast majority of us go wrong, right? It's not the losses that eat us, right? The behavioral slippage doesn't come in the losses. It's not the money that you lose. It's the money you never make, right? That's what keeps you from being a successful trader, not the money you lose. It's the money you never make. All the positions that you cut early that you just weren't willing to hold, right? All the positions that if I'd have just done that, then this would have happened. Those are the ones that stop you from being profitable. So like, even if this does squeeze back up, so I could have made an extra couple grand, true, but there needs to be the potential to make much more. Oh, my pleasure, Ashish. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And thank you again for all the likes. Make sure, like, word of mouth is always the best way to grow these things. So just tell your friends, you know what I mean? And just like, invite people to come. I'm still seeing, like, on an almost daily basis, people saying, oh, I was away and then I came back and realized you're not there anymore. So, make sure everyone knows where I'm at. They can come find us. Nice, Antonio. Jeez, another good hit. I mean, not for nothing. Pound for pound, we're making some pretty good money on this channel, just saying. So now the order that's important is this low right here, this guy right there. So if we come back up and buy through that order plus the 50, I'll be out. Right? There's no reason for us to need to go back up and buy that order. If we buy that order, we're going to go for ATR high. So that'll be my exit. If not, we just keep trending this thing down until it runs out of distance. Yeah, it's maybe Usman, like, 2K, but I'm not really risking 2K, right? Like, it's true, I'm willing to give back 2K, but I already risked my $600, right? My 600 to $1,000, and I've already made that money and then some. So what I'm really doing is I'm playing with house money. You know what I mean? I'm in a game that's going very well in my direction. At this moment, I'm willing to put a little bit of the house's money on the line in order to see if I can do more. Right? But it's just that, right? Because in this instance, right, if I'd have just went out, I would have went out at ATR low. And as you notice, my buy stop is well under ATR low at this point. Right? So I would not have made the money I can make now at my stop if I wasn't willing to do that. Right? So now if I get stopped out, I'm not going to go, oh man, I could have made, I had $8,000. I should have just taken the $8,000. No, in my mind, I should have only had $5,000. And either way, I'm going to make 6. You know what I mean? And if this pulls back and goes through that now, because I don't want to get out until the ticker tells me it's time to get out. And the only way I know it's time to get out is for the chart to tell me, right? The levels don't tell me. Like right now, we're still selling in the volume. We're just lightly offering. This is probably a pullback, right? And until we cross the 50 and start buying key levels, right, I'm not really that worried about it. right? I want to stay in. Thor making money while chilling in a cafe. What even is life? Bro, that's the trader life, man. That's the bubble. That's what we do, right? We trade, we make money, and then we go to concerts and hockey games and fun stuff. You know, we live our lives doing the things we want to do, and then we can do it. Like right now, if you look on X, I posted my trading setup on X. I think I threw it on IG as well. You can go in there and check it out. You can see I've got this like really cool like laptop. I've got 3 monitors that fold up James Bond style. I mean, I've got my really nice 4K webcam like plugs in right here that you're looking me at, and I have a microphone I can wear. I mean, I'm sitting here in a business center at a hotel, and I'm streaming on YouTube right now. It's freaking amazing. You know? Ooh, speaking of, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to grab a fresh drink. Just make sure no one steals my computer while I'm gone. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Thank you, everybody. Had to get a little drink. Okay, so it looks like we are finally getting close to me being out of this position. I mean, it was such a fun trade. Like, I'm so excited. Is PLTR still good for short? I'll pull this over here, and we'll pull PLTR up. Yes, I still like PLTR for a short. So PLTR started. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's like kind of read its story here. Right, you started off here with an attempt to sell that was absorbed, but then they offered its high. When they offered the high, so when I read candles, everything that I do, I kind of read it as action, reaction. Like, what was the action? What was the reaction? Dr. Vee teaches a lot this way too, which I really like. Right, so the action was a stuffed sell, and then we offered the high, and that we should have broken out. A lot of volume. So when we offered that high, we absorbed that high and then immediately sold back through the low. So the action of offering the high was a sell through the low. That was very, very bearish. Right. So right now, and then after that, we went into selling, which has sustained all day. Right. So there's no reason for me to believe that PLTR right now is going to reverse. Right. We are under the averages. We are trending to the downside. We are selling on the buying and selling detector. The only issue that we had was we did overcook our sellers a bit. So we're offering right now, or we're pulling back up, probably near L4, to see if we can entice more selling, to see if we can re-engage these sellers, because we did oversell a little bit. So that's what we're doing now. We're kind of offering. Yep. So no, I have a hard stop on. Right. So when you're looking at my trade right now, I have a level that I've marked. It's this level. I don't want to buy back above that. and then the 50 SMA. If we buy through the 50 and take out that level, this price action will now be too bullish for me to stay in the level. But you can see I have a stop on right now. I've been pulling the stop down this whole time, right? And here's my hard target right now, which I keep moving. My original target was just ATR low. But once this really looked like it was selling well, I decided to give it some room, and I just started trailing the 50, which is basically what I'm doing now. So if this comes through, but you can see here, like there are times when it will come through the 50 and it's just like a little wick. So I'm not going to sit right on the 50. So I use the 50 plus a level. Boom. This is the place that gives you the shortcuts and the speeds for your learning curve. Thanks. I appreciate that, Antonio. You're awesome. And look at that. Interesting. We got some nice response to the 50 there. So what else? Any other questions, thoughts, things you guys all want to talk about? I want to make sure y'all are engaged and having fun. We're making some good money together today. It's always a good sign when you zoom out, and when you zoom out, you can't find your P&L easily. No, I haven't, Anton. I have it on my list though. ERNA. I still like this. Keep an eye on PLTR. I think it could be a good one, but we'll see. ERNA is interesting. I don't play a lot of tickers in this category. So it's a higher narrow range. For me, ERNA is kind of a dead ticker. I probably wouldn't play. The reason I'm saying that is it looks like we have exhausted our buying. And then when we sold very hard and exhausted our sellers, but we didn't really make new lows when that happened. So I don't really see us selling off. I think this ticker will likely be very choppy. You took crude short a little. Oh. Right on. Crude I was looking for. If it had went to H6, I would have been interested. It was a nice long though, around like 8:50 in the morning. It was an H4 long. Not bad. I think RTY is done. You can see kind of how we offered the 21 and then we bought it. We had tried to sell. When we tried to sell, we absorbed that sell. And now we're buying back off to the 50. We then offered back to the top side. We're now above, and we're gonna buy through the 50 here. So we may finally be done on this one. What a good run this was. We'll see what happens. We've still got some time, but you can see here, if we buy back through that level and through this low after crossing the 50, that'll just be too bullish for me to stay in. I'll get out of this and we'll just be happy making, it'd be like $6,000. A little more, a little less. It's nice. I'll take it. Hey, question for you all on YouTube. How's the audio on this mic? Are y'all guys okay with it? It's a little different for when I travel. Cool. It's soft. That might just be me because I'm in a public area and there's people over there, so I'm not trying to. So you can hear the microphone at least, or the music. That's funny. Fire. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Yeah, it doesn't have much noise canceling to it, that's for sure. I could set up like, I think I can use hotkeys and I kind of feel like I'm on a movie set, but I could make muted in between like this. It is kind of a fun little, like, I don't know, it's kind of nice to have the little background. Don't you think it's entertaining? All right, so let's see. So action reaction. So we tried, you can see we offered the 50. We offered the 50. We then offered and closed, but just barely above it. And the reaction to that was immediate selling. So I still might have a shot at this one going lower again. If we offer here and then move lower, that would be quite the thing. It'd really give a good testament to my level choosing, by the way. I love this like plays. It's like super classy. And thank you all again, everybody, for the thumbs ups and shares and all that stuff. Y'all are amazing. Okay. So kind of like as we're talking about this, I'll talk to you a little bit about moving averages. So I use EMAs just like technically for the 50, you're supposed to use an SMA. I've just never really, I never saw enough of a difference that, to have a second indicator. So, but basically, when you're looking at these, your 9 is going to be your momentum, your 21 is going to be your short term trend, your 50 is going to be your long term trend. Right. So like your 50 lines up with like your 20 or your 21 on like your 5 minute. So you can kind of get an idea where your various trends are on a 1 minute chart. When you're above the 50, you're pretty bullish. When you're below the 50, you're pretty bearish. Right. So for me, you can see we kind of offered the opportunity to break trend there on a larger time frame. And we didn't. We closed there and then immediately sold back into the averages. So, but if we come back up and buy that high plus that high, this is definitely going to be too bullish to stay in. So I'll be very happy exiting at that point. But if this holds and moves lower, this could just, again, if we get back under the 9, we could reestablish momentum and get back into trend and then continue. I don't think today, because we're a narrow, on most of our indexes other than RTY, we're all on narrow days. So it's very likely we close somewhere outside the range. Right. So even along here, I would never expect to like go back to high of day at this point. That's for sure. You said MYM worked? Oh yeah. Look at that. Fun. Aw, Master Nad, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Big moment of truth here. So you can see we pulled back in and we're consolidating now on basically low volume. So it's really hard to get a read on which direction this one's going to go now because we're really kind of like dead in the middle. So this is kind of a moment of truth. It seems like when we tried to buy and we got good volume at the 50, that was meant to, again, action response was selling. So far, I have not seen an action candle that says we're a long. Like even this candle is not a long, right? We offered and then pulled down and closed quite low, and then we offered higher. So I think we're going back down. Yeah, it's the 9, but we'll see. It's the 9 EMA, and I use this calculation method. It's the high plus the H plus L plus C divided by 3. All right, so we have indecision, and our reaction to that was to offer lower. So let's see what happens. This candle, if it closes low, will be fairly bearish. If we close inside of this candle, then we probably squeeze back up a little bit. I don't know if you all are seeing this as we're looking at it. Do you notice? I don't know if you can see how we down tick much easier than we're upticking right now. This is an indication that our order flow is better to the downside, or we're letting our sell orders go to the book much easier. So kind of see an example of that, like when we uptick, it seems very difficult and labored, but as we downtick, it flows and really moves very quickly. Let me get rid of that. Thank you, Harish. My pleasure. Thank you. Good to see you, and thank you for the likes and the shares. Pretty wild to do that we can do this from Wi-Fi in a hotel from anywhere in the world, huh? Okay, so here comes some action. We're getting some volume, and that volume is coming as we make this new low. So remember what I said, like, see, this is where we've now crossed back below the 9. So that was a fairly bearish moment in time. But that was the action. So let's see the response to that action. Right now that we've closed below with volume, do we buy or do we offer the low and sell? If we offer the low and sell, that would be enough. This is kind of their last little line of defense here. Interesting. See what they chose to do? They closed under it and immediately squeezed back up. See, we're starting to definitely lose some downside because look at our candles with volume. They're kind of truncating, but we're not really getting upside either. So maybe we're just at an area of high value right now, which means if that's the case, we're going to get stuck for a while. So be prepared for the chop. This is starting to look more like an advance to the downside, though. So that closed underneath the averages, and now this is making a new low as a response. Very interesting. Yeah, Dave, with you, man, with you. We're getting a little sell in here now. We've also recrossed. I just don't know where we're going at this point. So I'm just getting as, like, right now, I think I'm aiming for basically, here. Yeah, down to where this test was. It's all I can really think to aim for. In transit, but so far the journey has been good. I'm gonna say no on the ES long, but we'll see. I mean, it is going into slight buying. I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable. It's a narrow range. If you did long, L4 is your max target, but I just don't. I think we sell more. So I would say no to this L6 reversal. If it had opened below and like went to it immediately, yes. But making new lows a day after 10:30 to get here, I'm not in it. I don't like it. I'm gonna stick with my RTY short. What a good level pick though, right? Look at that level choice right there, just so you know, to show you all how to pick some good levels. These are two decisions that were made basically on just picking. See how we had a bid that we sold through, and then offered, right? Bid, we sold through it, offered, right? It's not super challenging once you get into it. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. You're a blessing for me. Wouldn't be much of a show without all of you coming and listening to me talk, huh? But I certainly wish when I had started trading almost a decade ago, I'd have bumped into this kind of trading. So I kind of got suckered into the whole like get quick rich kind of concepts in the beginning, and that's made me, I suffered quite a bit through that. Sweet. Yeah, we all did ATX. We all did. How long have you been trading ATX? I know you've been around a while. So I started in the end of 2017. So back when low floats were popular. Yes, there is a replay mode in TradingView, and yes, the buying and selling detector works in replay. Since it's tick based and it's based off the chart, it doesn't matter what time frame you started in, it works the same way. Bruz in the house. What's up, dude? BS detector for the win, my friend. We really invented something cool there. That's why I'm in this RTY trade. I mean, I'm just short because the market's a short. Oh, thank you so much. Well, everybody, it is coming up on noon o'clock. So I'm going to get out of here. We have a Market Alchemist segment at 1 p.m. inside the Discord that I want to be ready for. For everyone who's to remind everybody, Market Alchemist in our Discord every single morning. We have an hour session that we do with Dr. Vee, getting our mentality on straight and getting our longer time frames figured out. And then every single day from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, we do a session. We're also live trading all the way up until basically I come on this YouTube. So if y'all are looking, for kind of to be a little bit more involved in the education process, also to join a community that's really like, trying to shift the paradigm in the way that day trading is done in general, come by and hang out with us. We'd love to have you. Otherwise, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and be a little flexible with me as I'm making my way for Money Show. May not be a show tomorrow, just depending on how the planes land. So if not, I'll be back to it on Thursday. So I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, much love. Keep it green. Talk to you soon, everybody.